See here, original examination question is what I am interested in taking right now. A car completes a journey in 15 hours. Listen to this question very carefully, sir. A car completes a journey in 15 hours. The first half of the distance at 21 kilometers per hour and the second half at 24 kilometers per hour. Find the distance. Now listen carefully, sir. Find the distance. Now, a person is traveling from A to B. Everyone listen carefully. A person is traveling from A to B. A car completes a journey in 15 hours. Total time taken to complete the journey from A to B is 15 hours. The first half of the distance at 21 kilometers per hour. This is the midpoint C. The first half is traveling at 21 kilometers per hour and the second half at 24 kilometers per hour. Find the distance. I need to find the distance from A to B, right? I need to find the distance from A to B. Now, listen carefully, sir. Listen very, very carefully. I already told you in my previous problems that I am traveling from A to B. If I travel from A to B, what is constant? Distance is constant. Distance is constant. Distance will not change if I travel how many hour time from A to B. What is the meaning of constant? Constant is nothing but a fixed quantity. Your mobile number is a constant. Your date of birth is a constant. Your hall ticket number is a constant. Any parameter which will not change is nothing but a constant quantity. Constant is nothing but a fixed quantity. Now that means distance is nothing but a fixed quantity. Because the distance is a fixed quantity, you can fix any value whatever you like. You can fix whatever the number you like. You like a number called as 7, you can fix it as 7. Like a number called as 11, fix it as 11. 13, fix it as 13. Any number you like. But to get the answer in lesser time, I will fix that distance as LCM of the given speeds. I will fix that distance as LCM of the given speeds. LCM of 21 and 24 is 168. That means I am assuming the distance as 168 kilometers. 168 kilometers may or may not be the correct answer. This is my assumption. It may or may not be the correct answer. If the total distance is 168, half of the distance is 84 kilometers and the other half is also 84 kilometers. I believe it is clear. I am assuming the distance as 168 kilometers. If the distance is 168 kilometers, listen carefully, sir. Can I say that speed is equal to distance by time? Time is nothing but distance by speed, right? Time is distance by speed. Time taken from A to B. Time taken from A to C. Time taken from A to C is nothing but distance from A to C. Distance from A to C is 84. Speed from A to C is 21. Time from A to C is 84 by 21. It is 4 hours. Similarly, time taken from C to B. Time taken from C to B is nothing but distance from C to B is 84. Speed from C to B is 24. 12 into 2, 12 into 7. 7 by 2 is 3.5 hours. Can I say that? How did you get this 84? How did you get this 84? Because of my assumption of 168. Because I assumed it as 168, I am getting this 84. And because of that 84 only, I am getting this 4 hours. Because of that 84 only, I am getting this 3.5 hours. That means whatever the values which is written on the screen as of now, everything is according to my assumption. According to my assumption, total time taken is from A to C it is 4 hours. From C to B it is 3.5 hours. According to my assumption, total time taken is 7.5 hours. But according to the question, total time taken, it is given in the question as 15 hours, right? According to the question, total time taken is 15 hours. Similarly, according to my assumption, distance what I have assumed is 168 kilometers. According to the question, how much they are asking? 7.5 is becoming 15. Multiply by 2. 168 also multiply by 2. 168 into 2 is 336 kilometers. Actual distance for this question is not 168 kilometers, but it is 336 kilometers. Kindly do not start your problem saying as let the distance be x or let the distance be d, which most of the textbooks, most of the YouTube channels will keep using that methodology to kill your time and also to kill their time. Please change the way you look at things so that your world will become a beautiful place. I believe that the idea is very, very clear, sir. Distance is constant. Constant is a fixed quantity. Fix any quantity of your choice. I am preferably taking the LCM to avoid fractions. I hope the idea is very, very clear for my students. One last time I am repeating for the people who did not understand. Little fast I am repeating, kindly try to understand it, sir. I know the distance is constant. I don't know what is the distance. I am assuming it as LCM of 21 and 24, which is 168. 168 if I assume, half of the distance is 84. Another half is another 84. Right? Now, this half is 21 kilometers per hour. This second half is 24 kilometers per hour. Time is distance by speed. Time taken from A to C. It is the distance from A to C, which is 84. Speed from A to C, which is 21. 84 by 21 is 4 hours. Time from C to B. Distance is 84, speed is 24. 84 by 24 is 3.5 hours. According to my assumption, total time taken is 4 and 3.5. Total time according to my assumption is 7.5 hours. According to question, it is given in the question as 15 hours. Everything find out according to your assumption, convert back to question. Simple. Similarly, according to my assumption, distance is 168. According to question, distance is what? Multiply that also by 2. 7.5 into 2 is 15. 168 into 2 is 336. I hope the idea is clear. See this question. Again a similar kind of question for your better understanding. See here, sir. People who did not understand previous question, listen to this carefully. Two cyclists cover the same distance. Important word in this question is the same distance in 15 kilometers per hour and 16 kilometers per hour respectively. Listen carefully, sir. There are two cyclists. Cyclist 1 and cyclist 2. Cyclist 1 is traveling at a speed of 15 kilometers per hour. Cyclist 2 is traveling at a speed of 16 kilometers per hour. They cover some same distance. That means the distance is constant. Same distance is nothing but distance is constant or same. Find the distance traveled by each. I need to find the distance itself in this question. Find the distance traveled by each. If one person takes 16 minutes longer than the other person. If one person takes 16 minutes longer than the other person. Now listen carefully, sir. They are asking you to find the distance. And distance is constant. Because the distance is constant, assume any value for distance. But preferably I will assume the distance as LCM of the given speeds. LCM of 15 and 16. 15 and 16 are next numbers, consecutive numbers. LCM of any two consecutive numbers is product of those two numbers. 15 into 16 is, it is 240. I am assuming the distance as 240 kilometers. This is my assumption. I am repeatedly saying this statement, sir. People who did not understand previous question, listen to this question carefully. My assumption of distance is 240. It may or may not be the correct answer. Now listen carefully, sir. If I assume the distance as 240, cyclist 1, in 1 hour he will cover 15 kilometers. In 1 hour he will cover 15 kilometers. To cover 240 kilometers, how many hours he will take? He will take 16 hours. Because 15 into which number is 240? 15 into 16 is only 240, or 240 divided by 15 is how much? It is 16. Similarly, cyclist 2. In 1 hour he will cover 16 kilometers. In 1 hour 16 kilometers. To cover 240 kilometers, he will take 15 hours. That means first cyclist is taking 16 hours, second cyclist is taking 15 hours. Now, can I say that how did you get this 240? I assumed it. Because of my assumption of 240 only I am getting this 16. Because of my assumption of 240 only I am getting this 15. That means whatever I have written on the screen till now, everything is according to my assumption. According to my assumption, first person is taking 16 hours, second person is taking 15 hours. That means one person is taking how much more than the other person? One person is taking 1 hour more than the other person. 1 hour is nothing but 60 minutes. According to my assumption, one cyclist is taking 60 minutes longer than the other cyclist. According to my assumption, distance is 240 kilometers. But I cannot solve the question just like whatever I want to assume. I should convert back according to the question. According to the question, one person is taking 16 minutes longer than the other. It is given here, sir. One person is taking 16 minutes longer than the other. According to the question, they are asking you what is the distance. 60 is becoming 240, multiply by 4. 60 into 4 is 240. 16 also multiply by 4. 16 into 4 is how much? 64 kilometers. Answer for this question is 64 kilometers. Very beautiful way of solving question, which really does not require any variables. Let the distance be x. You should have an attitude to throw away that methodology in your textbooks, whatever it is given into your dustbins. We are least bothered about let the distance be x kind of methodologies. Use a beautiful methodology which involves numerical values so that you will get the answers in a much more easiest methods. Prabhudas, what if we assume some other number as 220 or any other number? Answer will be different. No sir, please clear it. Answer will definitely not be different, Prabhudas. It will definitely not be different. But if you take any other number which is not a multiple of 15 and 16, suppose you are telling it as 220. Now think logically, Prabhudas. 240 divided by 15 is 16. 16 is a whole number. Whole number is very easy for me to solve. But 220 divided by 15, it is a fraction. It is a fraction. 220 divided by 16, that also is a fraction. 16 and 15, difference is 1 hour. Easy to say. 16 and 15 difference is 1. Very easy to say. But fraction minus another fraction, it is not that easy. I hope idea is clear. Now Arbinda Das, how 60 became 240? Now see here, Arbinda Das, 240 kilometers. 240 kilometers is there. Here 60 is there. Cross multiply. This is what they are asking. Here what is the value, sir? 16 minutes. Now if you don't want to do like this, cross multiply, Arbinda Das, like the way you were doing in your school days. Question mark into 60 is equal to 240 into 16. 60 into 1, 60 into 4, 4 into 16 is 64. Instead of cross multiplying and wasting time, I am doing then and there itself. Simple. 60 is becoming 240. 60 is 240. Multiply by 4. 60 into 4 is 240. 16 into 4 is question mark. Question mark is 64. In our school days, let us come back to our 15, 20 or 10 years before old school days. In our school days, we were doing like this. If one pen is costing 5 rupees, everyone listen carefully, sir. If one pen is costing 5 rupees, then 7 pens will cost how many rupees? We were doing this kind of problems in algebra, right, sir? I believe that everyone remember this kind of problem solving. Listen carefully. I will not move on, Vishal, because many people are having doubt. Kindly hold on. If one pen is costing 5 rupees, 7 pens will cost how many rupees? This is the kind of problems what we had in our school days. Now, think logically, sir. Everyone listen to this statement very carefully I am saying that if one pen is costing 5 rupees, what is the meaning of if? If is nothing but an assumption. I believe everyone is clear. If is nothing but an assumption. If at all one pen is costing you 5 rupees, 7 pens will cost you how many rupees? That means I am assuming that one pen is costing 5 rupees. This is my assumption. According to the question, they require 7 pens cost. How we were solving earlier? Cross multiplying. 1 into question mark is equal to 7 into 5. Question mark is equal to 35. This is how we were solving earlier. Now how am I solving? Direct multiplication. 1 is becoming 5. Multiply by 5. 7 also multiply by 5. 7 into 5 is 35. Or another way of solving is, don't multiply horizontally, multiply vertically. Everything is the same, sir. If one pen is 5 rupees, 7 pens will cost how many rupees? 1 is becoming 7, multiply by 7. 5 also multiply by 7. 5 into 7 is 35. Now, a student asked me a question. Kamlakar asked me a question. How can you, in the previous question, how can you equate this distance or time with kilometers? Same question whatever I am asking you right now. How can you equate pen with amount? I hope you are clear, right, sir? We are actually making use of 5th standard, 6th standard methodologies to solve our problem. That is something which my students should understand it. That's all. I hope it is very, very clear. Kamlakar, I believe that you are clear right now, sir. Please see this question, sir. Your question is, Samir drove at a speed of 45 kilometers per hour from home to resort. That means a person is traveling from home to resort. Right? A person is traveling from home to resort and he is traveling at a speed of 45 kilometers per hour. He is traveling from home to resort. Returning over the same route, he got stuck in traffic and took half an hour longer, and also he could drive only at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Returning from resort to home, he could only drive at 40 kilometers per hour speed, and because he got stuck in traffic, he took half an hour extra. He took half an hour longer, right? He took half an hour longer. What is the total distance between home and resort he traveled? Listen carefully, sir. What is the total distance they are asking? Same logic I will implement. Distance between home and resort is constant. I will assume the distance as LCM of 45 and 40. LCM of 45 and 40. How to find LCM in little easy method? 45 and 40. Common factor is 5. Take it outside. If I take that outside, it is 5 into 9 45, 5 into 8 40. 9 and 8 is 72 LCM. 72 into 5 is 360 kilometers. That means I am assuming the distance as 360 kilometers. I am assuming the distance as 360. This is my assumption. It may or may not be the correct answer. That means my assumption is I am assuming it as 360 kilometers. If I assume it as 360 kilometers from home to resort, in 1 hour he will cover 45 kilometers. To cover 360 kilometers, he will take 8 hours, because 45 into 8 itself is 360. From resort to home, in 1 hour 40 kilometers. To cover 360, it is 9, because 40 into 9 is 360. According to my assumption, home to resort is 8 hours. Resort to home is 9 hours. That means he is taking how many hours longer? He is taking 1 hour longer. That means according to my assumption, he is taking 60 minutes longer. According to my assumption, he is taking 60 minutes longer. Similarly, according to the question, he is taking half an hour longer. He is taking 30 minutes longer. According to my assumption, he is taking 60 minutes longer. According to question, he is taking 30 minutes longer. 60 divided by 2 is 30. Similarly, distance. According to my assumption, distance is 360 kilometers. According to the question, they are asking how much. If you are dividing this side by 2, this also should be divided by 2. 360 divided by 2 is 180 kilometers. Answer for this question is 180 kilometers. No need of usage of any variables, no need of usage of any formulas. I believe the idea should be very clear for you people in understanding these varieties of problems. Please avoid using that methodology which will always kill your time. Answer for this question is 180 kilometers.